Welcome to another Multifamily Collective short. Today I wanted to respond to an article that I read. I believe that it was in Globe Street. I'm going to link it up. But I also wrote sort of a rebuttal, not a rebuttal, but just something to think about, something to consider. So in the article, the author talks about intra-lease chargebacks to residents for potential damage. And so one of the points of his overarching thesis is that leases are getting longer and longer because of uncertainty in the marketplace. So people are just staying in place longer. And his idea, which I think is the back of his business, is that you need to do a really good job of intra-lease chargebacks related to damages and or resident-caused issues in apartments. Well, I think that is something that we already do as an industry. If somebody turns in a service request for something that is caused by the resident, then we do charge people back. But I think the other part of this thesis is that if somebody lives there for multiple years and you get some sort of wear and tear on the apartment that is in advance of what would be normal wear and tear over the course of that time, then you should charge them back, because at the end you forget about it, your team is busy, they're doing other things, they don't track it, and so on and so forth. And one of the other points in the article is that, and this is the one where I took issue and actually wrote a blog post that I'll post later this week, but is that residents will be less inclined to turn in service requests, thereby saving your site team members time and money and resource that they can invest in other things. Here's my pushback. If you become overzealous with charging residents back, now I'm not suggesting that if something is done by a resident that causes damage, we should charge that back. But if we're thinking about doing chargebacks related to things that are just the length of time you've lived in the apartment and could be subjective in nature, residents are less likely or less inclined to turn in service requests, thereby causing potential damage that could be potentially catastrophic. I've seen this in the way of residents, for whatever reason, call it apartment hygiene or housekeeping hygiene. They don't turn in service requests for a drippy something, a supply line under a bathroom sink with a hairline leak or hairline crack that causes a little bit of leak, and then over time it grows a lot of evidence of moisture, so to speak, or mold in the apartment, so you have this huge damage. That's my pushback. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.